So in each of these, we're supposed to do a single row operation starting with A to go to either 36 or to 40. So looking at this, what's the difference? Well, the second row is the same. It's just the first row that's different. And it looks like all we did here to go from a -1 to a -2 is we multiplied by 2. So we're just really taking 2 times row 1, and that's going to be our new row 1. And that's all we've done, because if we take 2 times 2, we get 4. 2 times -3, we get a -6. Now for 40, what did we do? Well, it looks like the first row is the same. The second row, that one's a little bit different. So that's a little bit trickier. It looks like if we take maybe, it looks like we're going to have to take a 4 times row 1, add that to row 2. That's going to be our new row 2, because if we take 4 times this, we're going to -4 plus 6 is 2. 4 times this is going to be 8 minus 3 gives us 5. And 4 times this plus 12 gives us the 0. So we had to do that row operation here and that row operation here. Okay. Now let's do a short problem where it says, basically we're solving using augmented matrices. All right, so to get that, first we start with our augmented matrix, which is 1 minus 3 minus 5, and then a -3 minus 1, 5. All right, and what we're, remember, trying to go to is 1 down the diagonals, zeros here, and then whatever m and n are here is what we're going to, that's what we're trying for. So first things first, we need to go 1 here, and then everything below that needs to be a 0. So if we take 3 times row 1, add it to row 2, and that's our new row 2, we'll get the next part. So we have a 1 minus 3 minus 5. Now 3 times that plus that, that's going to give us 0. 3 times that's going to give us 9 minus 9 minus 1, it's going to be minus 10. And that's going to give us what? Minus 15 plus 5, so that's going to give us minus 10. Okay. Now, what we need to do is we need to make this a 1. So to make that a 1, we're going to take a -1/10 row 2, and that's going to be our new row 2. All right. So 1 minus 3 minus 5, 0. Now that's just going to be 1 and 1. Okay. Now we need to make this a 0 to fit this. So if we take 3 times row 2, add it to row 1, and make that our new row 1, that should make that a 0. So if we do that, we have 0, 1, 1. So the second row doesn't change, so we can write it. Now we take 0 times 3 is 0, plus 1 is 1. 3 times that plus that is going to be 0. 3 times that's 3, minus 5 is going to be minus 2. And so it looks like x1 is equal to a minus 2, x2 is equal to a 1. Now, does that work? What we need to do is we need to check. And so we check back into our original equation. So x1 is minus 2, so minus 2 minus 3 times 1. And that's going to be what? Minus 2 minus 3 is minus 5. And so that one works. Now the other one, we have a minus 3 times a minus 2 minus plus 1. And then we have that's equal to 5. So here we have 6 minus 1 is 5. That one works as well. Okay. And so that's what we would do for that one. So again, we do all our reductions till we get to the row reduced echelon form. And then after that, we check in both original equations or however many equations there are. All right. So let's stop there and we'll come back for another one.